My lords and my ladies, kindly, with your kind permission, I would also want to seek clarification for my own petition which I have filed, petition number E567. I had information that that file was also coming up before you this morning, and I would like to know whether the same is before you, and if so, whether we can also proceed with it.
When was it filed?
It was filed on the 18th of October 2024, and it came up before Honorable Justice Mwamuye, who gave directions that it should come up actually tomorrow, and I believe that is part of the reasons why there is protest in this matter. And then I was informed that it's coming up today, so I also need clarification.
To please the court. My name is Dr. Eboso. I'm a petitioner in E541 of 2024, a petition that was filed on 8th of October, and a petition in which we got directions on 16th of October, directing that it be brought before the Chief Justice for this bench. It raises the same issues as the issues that were consolidated, and I'm appearing in person with Ms. Ivy Wangi, the second petitioner, and we were seeking clarification with regard to directions on that file, because as we can see, there are files that were filed on 17th of October, and which directions were given, and the bench was constituted. So we expected that the matter would be mentioned together with this one today. Thank you.
Lord, with utmost respect, this honorable court is a court of record. And the record is very, very important. My Lord, Your Ladyship, we heard the court assistant call out petition E13 of 2024, and she mentioned the word Kiliboya. That is the file that was called out. And in order for the record of this code to be systematically accurate and easy to follow, may I, with respect, ask that we get clarity on this file that was called out, E13/24 of Kiliboya, before we go to the other matters. And perhaps it is for this honorable court to clarify which files, one by one, are before this honorable court this morning.
Senior Counsel Paul Mute, we are giving you time to talk. You see, everybody wants to talk. There will be a time for us also to talk. So I've heard you.
Thank you.
For this morning, for the purposes of hearing this morning, the applications which are before the court are application number E0113, which was consolidated in Kiliboya before it arrived here with E0114. 0114. Then we have application number E0115, also from Kiliboya. That is application before this court. And then we give direction on those applications. And then E565. Those are the three matters which are before this court and in which the Honorable the Chief Justice has constituted this bench for hearing and determination. If you there are articles of our constitution of this bench in record. So the three matters before the court are E565, E015, E013, and E014. Those are the files and petitions, applications before this court. And those are the applications on which this bench has given directions pursuant to this bench being duly constituted. So any other applications which you are talking about, we have not cited them. Maybe they are yet to reach us, but for the purposes of today's hearing, we have these three petitions or applications.
Your Lordship, we are well guided. And perhaps also to state for record that we also appear in E015 in protest. But further that, Your Lordship, kindly confirm that the number that is now registered in the matter that came from Kiruguya is E015. And that is important, Your Lordship, because of the purposes of administrative transfers of files. Because what was at Kiruguya, Your Lordship, was E015. Does it therefore mean that that file has not yet been integrated into the Nairobi files? And if so, then how do we appear to proceed before you, and how was the matter that we shall raise other issues? Just confirm on the question of the integration of that file with the Nairobi files, because the last file that we have should be 565 as at Friday. Are we dealing with the matter in Kiruguya or in Nairobi?
Yes, let me deal with that. My Lord, for the purpose of E572 of 2024.
That file is not before us.
That's all I'm only saying. I have had the directions of the bench. The file is not before you. But I have instructions for the purpose of the work to check that that petition was filed on 18th of October. The same day the Kiruguya file were filed. All the directions in all these files that have been taken to a graveyard is that none of these files of ours are borders. The reason as to why Kiruguya files before the learned judges is purely because they have orders to stop the swearing in of the deputy president-elect. The CJ could not have selectively decided to have only one file before you, my lords. This is a trial of the judiciary. It is a trial that goes to the root cause of whether there is impartiality.
Mr.
Yes, my lord.
Mr. Omari.
Yes, my lord.
The file you are addressing us, we have said, is not before us. And the files which are before this court are the files in which this specific bench has been empaneled.
Thank you, my lord. Allow me to mourn. Because the questions I'm raising are very pertinent, that there are files selectively brought before you, but there are others.
Mr. Omari, we wouldn't know that because, as you understand, we only deal with matters in which we have been empaneled. We do not empanel ourselves.
Thank you very much. The empanelment authority has heard me loud and clear. Thank you.
And my lord, if you could mourn elsewhere.
Madam, I had indicated in this honorable court that there will be at least 3 clarifications.
Just a minute, Mr. Mugweza.
think we need to get something right. I want to clarify how these files are before this bench this morning. The 3 files which were filed in Kerugoya, that is 13, 14, and 15 of 2024, had some interim conservatory orders issued by the court. Further to the issuance of those orders, the learned judge made further orders requesting the Honorable Chief Justice to empanel a bench. Those files were transmitted on the basis of that order to the Honorable Chief Justice's office on the 18th of October 2024. On that very day, the Honorable Deputy Chief Justice empaneled this bench to hear those matters. Thereafter, applications were filed online. I think you are all aware that we are operating online. Applications were filed online. When those applications were filed online, those are the ones which this bench gave directions for these matters to appear before us today. That is why you are here, and that is the trail, that is the paper trail as to why we're here this morning. So I reiterate the position taken by the presiding judge that we will not be comfortable dealing with any other file, even if it's related to this file, which we did not give directions for it to appear here today. So I think we can now proceed on the basis of that clarification.
Thank you, Judge.
My Lord,
Just a minute, please.
Perhaps just to add that the numerous other petitions that are coming up, I think the process is ongoing. Maybe not all the files have been transmitted to the bench. Maybe by the time we leave this courtroom, other files will have been transmitted to the bench. But as we speak now, here and now, these are the only files that were transmitted to the bench and in which there are applications where the bench gave directions for hearing today. That is not to say that those are all the petitions there are. We don't even know whether the transmission has been done yet, and that we will go back and find all the other petitioners whose concerns are valid. Perhaps those files would now be before the bench formally so. Right?
yes, my Lord, I believe now I can be able to make the clarifications. We are starting with the immediate background that we need to make these clarifications, and we take...
No, Mr. Let us finish with quorum first. There's the quorum there's a quorum in E013, which was consolidated in Kerugoya with E014. Let's take quorum on that file.
Your Lordship, is terribly something wrong. And I believe it is important for us to put things into proper perspective. Because when you call the matters, E13 was not part of what was called. I have not heard it, perhaps it would be called. But Your Lordship, in E015, there has never been a consolidation. To the best of my knowledge.
Why are you talking about consolidation? Nobody has talked about any consolidation. These files have not been consolidated. I think that is the next process we'll be going into. Nobody has talked about any consolidation. If you look at the record, you will find that the directions for today's hearing are given specifically on each and every file. There was no consolidation of any matter. No matter has been consolidated. So let us not dwell on things which really are not before the court. Now matter has been consolidated, and let us proceed from there. If you want to apply for any files to be consolidated, that is okay. As we speak now, there is no consolidation. The directions from this court were very specific on 3 different files.
My lords, I'm more inclined, but when Justice Murima was giving the clarification, I never heard him clarify whether the Kirogoya file has been integrated into the Nairobi system. Because we cannot be dealing with a file that is reading Kirogoya. Because of course, if there is no integration, Your Lordship, then there is a rat that is made.
My Lord, may I say something?
Let me answer him. You said that record speak for himself. And for record, matters which came from Kirogoya came with their own record. And the record states here that the matter herein is consolidated with petition E014 of 2024 and the same to be delivered in the Chief Justice for empanelment of bench in terms of the ruling in petition E014 of 2024, a copy of which shall be placed on this file. So your own matter coming from Kirogoya was already consolidated. Those proceedings which took place in Kirogoya consolidated these 2 files. So let that not be an issue here, please. On the directions issues on 11th by Judge Richard Mwongo, these were the directions. The petitioner in E014-2024 to serve their amended petition on all parties. Similarly, the petitioner in E013-2024 to serve their petition on all parties. Respondents the petition to file their responses by noon of 17th of October 2024. Given that the files are being routed to Honorable Chief Justice forthwith, the party's response to the amended petition and petition E013 of 2024 may be filed in Kirogoya under the Kirogoya case tracking system online, whereupon they shall be forwarded to Nairobi. So these proceedings took place in Kirogoya. So this court has not consolidated any matter. Petition number E014 and petition number E013 are hereby consolidated. The parties who appeared before the Kirogoya court were given those orders. Those were your orders.
And with your permission, Presiding Judge, the reason why Nairobi has not opened another file to put together all the files from Kirogoya is this. Going by the orders which were issued by Kirogoya court, there was a specific order that because of the transmission, parties will still file their documents under the Kirogoya CTS, that is the court tracking system. We had to hold on to that so that not to disadvantage any of the parties until we appear today. Those are some of the things we will deal with here and make orders to the Honorable Deputy Registrar to formalize that. So there should be no cause for alarm. We will put everything into its place.
I presume we may now raise the issues that we want to raise, particularly arising from the issues in Kirogoya. And
we will then proceed and take quorum on they were consolidated, so we will not take further quorum on this matter.
The Attorney General, I don't know, I have indicated to the court earlier. I need to raise some clarification.
Section 7 of the Attorney General's Act.
You had read your subject. It doesn't override my right to represent my client.
I'm repeating it.
Can she then say her piece? I say mine.
Which matter are we now dealing with?
We have 0115.
We have several.
We have 0115.
My Lord, I wanted to say that
Yes.
the only matters before this court are the matters which had ex parte orders. The matters that came from Kirogoya E13 and E14, although consolidated, they were filed before impeachment and they have no conservatory orders. We have E15.
E15 has
conservatory orders, but E13 and E14, although from Kirogoya, they were filed before impeachment and they had no conservatory orders.
hope I can then be heard without my Lord, I'm leading the number of advocates in this matter from Kirinyaga is 0.
Kerugoya 15.
Yes, Kerugoya
15, yes.
Yes. My Lord, the clarification that I seek to raise emanates against this general background. The first one, my Lord, is that there was a sitting on Saturday, which the court has since explained how that sitting occurred.